What's up guys, and welcome to another video. I know, I thought yesterday was going to be sort of the last video before tomorrow, which will be Pokemon Direct, and hopefully the reveal of the new Pokemon games. However, today, Nintendo sort of surprised us, and they trademarked two new sort of game names, I guess, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, complete with logos actually as well. And obviously you can see them here. So let's have a little chat about these. First up, we can't say confirmed right now, oh yeah, the new games are going to be Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, because trademarks in the past haven't been, followed up on. In the past we've had Pokemon Brown trademarked, we've had Pokemon Amethyst, I think, as well as in May of 2014, Pokemon Delta Emerald was trademarked, and a lot of people were like, oh my god, Delta Emerald, we might get Delta Emerald. Have we got Delta Emerald? No, we haven't got Delta Emerald, so these could be a false lead. However, since Pokemon Direct is tomorrow, the 20th anniversary, we're expecting new games. I'd say it's fairly likely that these are the new games we're going to get, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. And sort of in my, I don't want to say hype or whatever, analysis of the Pokemon Direct coming out on Friday, in my video yesterday, I completely forgot to even sort of follow the, explore the idea that they might be a new generation. I talked about having Z or XZ, YZ, etc., or even Red, Blue, Yellow remakes, stuff like that. But I didn't even think about the idea of having the start of Generation 7 because it just doesn't feel right for us. All generations in the past have had more games. Bear in mind, Generation 5, yes, it had 4 games. Same as this generation, except 4 of those games were in the new region. We didn't have any remakes in that generation, whereas obviously Generation 6 we have a Mega Remake for Sapphire, so we only had 2 games from the new region. So Pokemon Sun and Moon, they could be part of Generation 6, of course. We could have a generation of 6 games, but I don't know. They could be, but then again they're not related to X, Y, or S at all, so how does it link in? Plus, if you think about, okay, usually the names of the games relate to actual legends. Obviously Diamond Pearl, we have Dialga Palkia, Platinum was Giratina. That was a bit of a loose link there, but obviously it's just the last of the trio. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, obviously it links back to Gold Silver, but it's Ho-Oh and Lugia there. Black and White was obviously Reshiram and Zekrom. You guys get the idea. X and Y, Xerneas is an X, if you felt to is a Y. So Sun and Moon. The 2 Pokemon we have at the Sun and Moon are Lunatone and Solrock. I don't think they're legendaries, do you? No. So it would be like, it would make sense for me if these were games that are coming out for them to be a new generation, because we just don't have enough, I guess, Pokemon to fit it. I don't know, I can't explain it. Pokemon Sun and Moon, it would fit it if you had a new new Pokemon, new legendaries to go along with these games. One Pokemon possibly being something related to the Sun, the other being related to the Moon. Who knows? We have Cresselia and Darkrai, which are sort of related to the Moon, but not directly. So I don't know. There's no counterpart for the Sun there. That's the other thing. So who knows? Sun and Moon. I'll give my thoughts on them as names in general. I like them. They're good names. Sun and Moon, pretty good. There's not much more to say about that. I'm excited if they are real games. However, I'm confused. A lot of people are saying, even though we have these trademarks revealed, that it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like the end of Generation 6. We need Z. We had all the hype with the anime XYZ, Perfect Zygarde, all of that, and for them to just gloss over Z completely, it would be a bit weird. So it's possible that Sun and Moon will be revealed, along with maybe Pokemon Niji being the new game that we talked about, and Pokemon Niji could be Pokemon Z, and then Sun and Moon could be teased at tomorrow as well, sort of at the same time, for Sun and Moon to then come out sort of the next year, or next year 2017, to start Generation 7. That's possible. However, I just don't know. Guys. That's why you need to let me know down below what you think, because this could go hundreds of different ways. Sun and Moon, are they real? Are they just placeholder names, and we're just going to get Pokemon ZX and ZY? I don't think they're placeholder names, because purely because we have these awesome logos and they look pretty cool. Obviously we haven't got like high definition logos quite yet, but these logos that they have given us are pretty nice. I'm not going to complain about these logos at all. I like them. They're interesting. They're different than usual. X and Y we just had Pokemon with a big X, and Y, whatever, or else we had these sort of nice glossy logos. Sun and Moon, we actually have a little logo bit next to it, a sun being sort of the star, and then moon being sort of like a half moon with a little moon inside it. You guys get the idea there. But yeah, you guys know what I mean here. How do we know that he's actually real? Well, they're trademarked by the Pokemon Company with the same ID as the sort of the company that trademarked X and Y back, when those were coming out. However, I don't know. They are trademarked by the same company, but again, they could be placeholders. They could not. You guys get the idea there. So, you guys need to let me know down below. What do you think? Is this going to be a new game? Are you expecting Sun and Moon tomorrow, or do you think they're just placeholders? As I've said, I'm pretty sure they're going to be the actual games. However, are they going to be Generation 6 or Generation 7? That's really the big question here. They could possibly still be Generation 6 and be sequels to X and Y almost, and take part in the Eastern or the Southern area of Kalos, and having the main Kalos as like an after game. That's a possibility, and they could still be Generation 6. Yes, we haven't got as many Pokemon for Generation 6. However, Sun and Moon could even introduce new Pokemon as well at the same time, even if they're still Generation 6. They could, Pokemon in the end, they choose the generations, I'm pretty sure. We don't make them ourselves. If they want it to be Generation 6, sure as hell to be Generation 6, and they can add new Pokemon if they'd like, and just add them onto the Kalos decks, and it would still be a Generation 6 game, or pair of games, just with extra Pokemon added on at the end, or in the middle, wherever else you wanted to put them. So it's a possibility, that's what I'm saying here. Or they could be Generation 7. If they're Generation 7, yes, again, they could take place in Kalos. That's a possibility, There's no rule saying that, yes, they can't have the same region in 2 consecutive generations. No rule against that at all. Is it likely for them to be in Kalos if they're Generation 7? I don't know, really. It's possible. I don't think we want to say it's likely, but it is possible. However, Sun and Moon, obviously these games' names usually relate somehow to the storyline, or to the legendaries that relate to the storyline. So Sun and Moon, clearly the 2 legendaries related here would be a Sun legendary and a Moon legendary. However, what's the story behind it? Obviously we have the usual evil team trying to use the legendary for some sort of purpose or something along those lines. So maybe they're trying to harness the power of the Sun or the Moon. It's possible that the Pokemon that related to these 2 games, maybe one of them gets the power from the Sun, maybe one of them gets their power from the Moon, which consequently would be from the Sun, because all the Moon is light reflected from the Sun. But you guys get the idea there. So it might be two Pokemon that get their powers from the Sun and the Moon. So it's possible, again thinking about it, that they might maybe overpower this Pokemon and make it eternal brightness. It's a possibility, I suppose. If you talk about the Sun and the Moon, you could either have eternal brightness or eternal darkness with the Sun and the Moon, which could be a certain particular goal of the enemy, the evil team, to maybe power up this Pokemon. Because if it's up sunny all the time, yes, maybe they can use this Pokemon to be extra powerful and take over the world. You guys get the idea. The sort of storylines we have here, but yeah, it's really just speculation for the moment. We'll find out more tomorrow when the games are revealed, if they are, of course. But tell me down below in the comment section. As I said, tell me, do you think it's going to be Sun and Moon tomorrow? Do you think they're going to be Generation 6 or Generation 7? And, is it what do you want to see from Sun and Moon? Do you want to see anything particularly amazing, or do you want to see just sort of like X and Y sequels with some built-up stuff in the regions? So yeah, just let me know down below what you think, guys, because it's really quite interesting. We can go in many different directions right now. What I would really like to see for these remakes, or not remakes, but new installments, if anything, would be the camera to be fully movable, I guess. Obviously in X and Y we can move, but we can't move the camera. Yes, okay, if we can move the camera around ourselves, that would require us to have a new 3DS, because it's got 2 sort of, 2 things we can move about. So that's really only likely, I think, if it's Generation 7, because obviously Generation 7, they wouldn't really have too much of a problem going onto the new 3DS, because it's a new, the few generations, Generation 3 was on the Game Boy SP, Generation 4 DS, Generation 5 was DS, 6 was 3DS, so 7 is possibly 3DS, or they could go to new 3DS because it's pretty much the same system, however a few changes. If it's Generation 6, Sun and Moon, I would say stay on the 3DS. If it's Generation 7, I'd say you may as well go on to the new 3DS, because obviously if that's going to last a few more years as well, you may as well bump it up to the new 3DS, and that would allow for some extra movement with the camera, and it will make it feel like a really immersive game. Whereas Pokemon X and Y and all the rest, they're good games, of course they are, but movement is still a bit, you can only move, you can't see around, you can't look around, you can move forward and backwards, and that's pretty much it, and the camera just goes, depending on where you're stood. So a fully movable camera would be really cool, and one thing I'd really like to see. Plus, obviously, Pokemon following you around again, because everyone wants to see that. Let me know down below what you want to see for these games, guys, and of course, what you think we're going to see. Do you think they're going to be Sun or Moon? Just anything, Generation 6 or 7? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, guys. We'll have a discussion down there, and I'll see you tomorrow with a video once your games have been revealed, if of course they are revealed, and it's not just like Pokemon trolling us and be like, oh yeah, we got a new pay-to-play game for you. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, well, I shall see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, and get speculating down below in the comment section. I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.